Good morning. Welcome to the question and answer session for the Bachelor of Design, User Experience Design, Graphic Design, and Multimedia Design and Development programs. Thank you so much for joining us online. My name is Natalie St. Pierre and I'll be your moderator. We're going to give participants another minute to join before we start. While you're with us today, you'll get to meet faculty members who will introduce themselves and their programs. In the meantime, please do submit your questions. They'll be queued and answered out loud after introductions. Thank you again for joining us today for this question and answer session. Asma Arslan will open today's session by sharing a bit more about herself and the Bachelor of Design User Experience degree. Asma?
Hi, everyone. I hope you can hear me clearly. My name is Asma Arslan. I'm covering up for Sarah English. She is the coordinator of the Bachelor's of Design program. However, I'm a professor at the Bachelor's of Design program at Humber, and I am also a user experience designer. I've been teaching design in different places, in different universities in Toronto for a few years now, and the Bachelor's of Design program at Humber is by far my favorite. So you can imagine, we're a little bit picky as designers, and I chose to be full-time at this Bachelor's of Design program because it's very thorough. And after working in the industry, I realized the need for training, like a whole fully sort of developed UX designers and UX researchers, and also design thinkers, problem finders, and innovators. So that's what the Bachelor's of Design program is sort of designed around. It's a 4 years degree, and by the end of it, you've also had some field placements and some connections in the industry. So welcome, I'm here to answer your questions.
Thank you so much, Asma. Next up is George Paravantes to tell you about the User Experience Graduate Certificate Program. George?
Hey everyone. So yeah, we have a 1-year grad certificate as well. So if usually a post-secondary student that has a background in another discipline comes into our course, and we kind of start from zero and build your skills up. And a lot of times people look at design as this prescriptive process that I do A, B, C, and here's the design process. But in reality, design is something really messy, and we kind of get you comfortable in that messiness. So you learn about all these research techniques. You learn how to build your concepts and execute and prototype them, as well as build usability around them to see if design isn't just the way something looks, it's about just as well as the way it works. So that's a little summary on the little program.
Thank you so much, George. Next up, we have Bianca DiPietro to tell you about the Graphic Design Advanced Diploma Program. Bianca?
Hi, everyone. So I am the program coordinator and professor in the Graphic Design Advanced Diploma Program. The program is 3 years and 6 semesters long. The program develops creative and strategic designers who execute for a wide range of interactive media and visual communication, including user experience, branding, motion design, and traditional print products. While learning and mastering design concepts, you will generate creative solutions and produce visuals for effective multimedia communication. As you gain knowledge and skills, you will be exposed to many topics and tasks required in contemporary design work. You will become strategically and typographically skilled and master digital, interactive, informational, branding, motion, user experience, user interface, and web design techniques. As part of our Interaction and Design Common Platform cluster, the program will expose you to many aspects of design and allow you to collaborate with students in related fields. The first semester is shared with the Multimedia Design and Development program, And you can switch into that program if you have a stronger interest in video, audio, and motion after the first semester. You finish off 6 semesters with a 140-hour internship placement where you get real-world experience and open up opportunities for your first job in the field. And that sums up the graphic design program, and let me know if you have any questions.
Thank you so much, Bianca. And next we have Rob Blaine to talk about multimedia design and development. Thank you, Rob.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for coming today. I'm Rob Blaine. As I'm talking, there will be some student work that's being shown from the slides. I'm the program coordinator and professor in the Multimedia Design and Development program. The program is 2 years or 4 semesters. Multimedia is a broad term. Multimedia encompasses text, audio, video, images, animation, or motion into a single composition or project. In the 2 years you spend in the program, we immerse you in a variety of courses that span the multimedia landscape. As you enter your second year, we work with you to focus on your portfolio and identify what part of the multimedia industry you want to be your focus. Our students generally go into user experience design, user interface design, front-end development, motion graphics, or videography. We're a portfolio-based industry, meaning that your focus after the 2 years should be your personal website, which you'll use to sell yourself to land your first job. Our focus is on you and how the faculty in the program can help you to get where you want to go. All of our faculty have worked or are currently working in the industry. With that in mind, we're always looking at what are the fundamentals that someone should have in the industry and what trends or techniques are required for future grads. In a 2-year program, we try and stay nimble to incorporate emerging technology where possible in the curriculum. For example, my 3rd-year semester students are working with the City of Toronto right now, seeing how they can use augmented reality to help residents in Toronto envision new developments. So as Bianca mentioned, we have a common first semester, so with the graphic design program. So if you're new to the design world and unsure as to what's best for you, you get the first semester to experience the different course materials and discuss with your faculty and coordinator as to what would be best for you. Our program has a 140-hour work placement in the industry to allow for you to get real world experience. And as mentioned previously by my peers, we're constantly adding collaborative projects, real client briefs, and international online learning opportunities. We also have a program advisory committee that we consult with on an annual basis to ensure that our curriculum is always up to date. So that's the Multimedia Design and Development program. And if you have any questions, let me know.
Thank you so much, Rob. So we're now going to open the floor to questions, and the first question is for George Paravantes about the User Experience Graduate Certificate Program. So George, we have a number of questions actually about how the program is going to be delivered in winter 2021, and related to that, how is the program handling work placements given the current restrictions?
Yeah, so I can elaborate on that for sure. Timetables and schedules. In the fall, we had our format was set up. Here's a sample I could show you guys, where we had sync blocks of an hour where you sync with each course during the week. And this is typically what the fall semester looked like. And we're in this online format as well in the winter, so it'll be very similar to this. So there was 2 sections of students. So this was what your timetable would be, but your instructors would also build out asynchronous content for you. So that means a typical 3-hour class, or just less than that, 2 hours of it roughly is asynchronous. So this flexible learning where the content is delivered, it could be delivered live or it could be delivered with pre-recorded. And you have a feedback session where instructors, you meet them one-on-one online and you discuss various topics that are going on in the course or elaborate on assignments and other issues that are coming up in the course as you're going through it. So it's pretty balanced, and again, it's flexible for this online learner. And we do balance out, I do keep in touch with my students through a Slack channel they've set up, so I'm in there as well, and that's proven to be very valuable this semester. I'd say it's worked out really well. Whenever there's a question they have, it's quickly answered when they post it up. So that's the format of the online in the fall, but this will be a very similar format in the winter as well.
Thank you so much, George. Our next question is for Bianca, specifically regarding the portfolio requirements for the Graphic Design Advanced Diploma. So do you have, can you please share first what's required in the portfolio, and if you have any tips for individuals who are trying to decide what works to include?
Yes, so yes, we do require a portfolio as part of our requirements for the program. It is 3 to 5 samples of rough work, which include sketches, notes, thumbnails, writing process, thinking process. And essentially what we're looking for is creativity. So you can actually submit poems, you could, submit music, you could submit creative work, visual work of any kind. We're just looking for a sense of creativity and how you express your creativity. So it doesn't, even though you're applying to graphic design, and graphic design is very digital and it's very visual communication focused, you can actually display your creativity in many ways, and we are just looking for a way to assess your creativity to get into the program.
Thank you so much, Bianca. Our next question is for Rob about multimedia design and development. So we have an individual here who has just finished their undergraduate degree. So they want to know what the the enrollment requirements are for them.
Enrollment requirements. Could you clarify that?
Sorry, admission requirements for your program. Yeah.
So if you've already completed an undergrad, you should be fine to apply. Very much the same as the graphic design program. We have a portfolio requirement, and really the goal is we're not expecting you to be a multimedia designer at this point. I think it's just show us how you explore creativity and whatever medium you work best in. So it's if you've already completed, we actually have a lot of students in the program who graduated before, who have already done a degree somewhere, and then they come in and they decide they want to focus, and we really sort of help work on their portfolio. And in that 2 years, we really do sort of really help them develop out and figure out where they want to go with their career.
Thank you so much, Rob. So the next question we have is for Asma about the, the Bachelor of Design program is a user experience program. Is it focused more on research or on design, or is it a balance of the two? And how does the program balance those aspects?
Okay, so that's a really good question. And yes, it's a balance of the two. The program has different courses on UI, UX, and general research and design thinking, and also a lot of making. So it has a beautiful balance of everything that is required in the UX industry. And around third year, you know what you like doing best. And fourth year gives you more of a room to play and develop what you want to do in the UX industry. So you could graduate being a UX researcher or a UX designer, and you'll have all skills by the time you graduate.
Thank you so much. And George, we'll go to you because I think there's some folks who are wondering the same thing about the graduate certificate program. George?
Yeah, for sure. I'll give you some behind the scenes look of some of the things we're doing. And we do a lot of interdisciplinary work. So in this winter semester, you're going to work with industrial designers on an interaction design project, and you'll be exploring concepts once you've kind of built your foundation in the fall. You get to team up with product designers and work on a product that has both digital and physical aspects to it. So this is some of the outcomes that we've had. This is the this is the 4th year we're doing it. And it's led to some really awesome outcomes. And we're super excited to kind of share with you guys where that could go. Last year, a couple of students in this course won the Social Innovation Award for Humber. So every year we've been running it. Students have been recognized for their work that they've been doing, and it's super exciting because it's interdisciplinary. You're going to learn more from each other, from the product designers, than you are from the faculty when you do this project. So it's kind of fun watching them go through this. And again, the balance is research, but we quickly go through this whole process from end to end where you figure out what research to do, what research you uncovered and how to use it and synthesize it to guide you on the right solution at the end. So a lot of this is about looking at the blind spots of a design problem and not jumping into things that you find right away and thinking, is this really the right answer that we're designing? So we spend a lot of time mulling over our designs. So, and this is like a behind the scenes look. The students get to do a lot of usability testing in the lab. And this is a sneak peek of our industry project with Grocery Gateway that we do every year. So it's kind of fun working with the industry as well on your projects, not just like fictitious projects are fine too, but working with industry projects also bring a value to the course.
Thank you so much, George. So I'm just catching up on the chat here. It is going fast and furious here. We do actually have some questions about the software applications taught in a couple of the programs. So why don't we just do a round robin so everyone has an opportunity to address that for those who are watching at home. Bianca, we haven't heard from you in a while. Let's go to you first to talk about the software that's taught in the program.
All right, so for graphic design, it's fairly straightforward. You need the Adobe Creative Cloud. The Adobe Creative Cloud will give you access to all of the software that you need for the program. And Humber does provide a discount for that subscription because you do have to pay for it yourself. And then we also offer Microsoft Office as a part of your software as well. But those two things will get you everything you need.
Thank you, Bianca. Let's go back to Asma.
So for softwares, first question everybody asks me, I'm going to be a UX designer. Do I need to learn code? Absolutely not, but it'll be nice if you know code. About the softwares, I think Adobe Creative Cloud is something that we all use all the time. Adobe XD is a relatively simpler and a really user-friendly software. So we work on Adobe XD, Adobe Photoshop, and Illustrator. And, you know, we also sort of iterate our learning about softwares along the way because there's new and great softwares and tools coming up. So we keep adding new tools in our program all the time. But the core tools would be our Adobe Creative Cloud, some basic HTML and CSS as well, but that's going to be a basic course that you learn in your second year.
Thank you, Asma. And Rob, Blaine, what software is taught in your program?
So very much the same as Bianca's program. We make use of the Adobe Creative Cloud. I would say the one piece of software, or a couple of pieces of software that we use that they don't necessarily use in graphic design as much are Adobe After Effects. So that's how you can start doing motion graphics. And if you ever use something like Photoshop, it's like Photoshop on steroids. It's an amazing program, but it allows you to do some awesome stuff. HTML and CSS, so that you actually don't need any expensive software. You basically need a text editor. But we use basically anything that you can download in the Adobe Creative Suite, we're making use of.
Thanks so much, Rob. And finally, back to you, George. And I know there's one question specifically about whether or not coding is taught in the graduate certificate.
I'm going to say yes, but not coding as you think. Typically, you think coding as like software aspects, but we learn about, it's a sociology term. Coding in research means taking your insights that you found while you're doing user interviews and then coding them and labeling them to build what's called affinity diagrams. So that's the only coding you'll do. You'll learn to understand what I mean by coding, but there's no actual binary digital stuff. It's just more social science part. So yes, we do coding, so I don't want to scare anyone, but not in that sense.
And George, are there any additional software programs, ones that haven't been mentioned with the other programs?
Like we do teach Sketch. And usually when I give out the assignments to students, I kind of have two sets of tutorials. So some students really want to learn Sketch as well. And we bring in some past students that have worked with Sketch and Illustrator and XD and all that. And this one student that works at Grocery Gateway does this awesome presentation on the pros and cons of these tools and which ones work in which scenario. So he shows how he solves problems using Sketch and how he solves problems in XD. So, both are true. They both have values. It all depends what problem you're trying to solve. So we kind of explore both those tools. And yeah, Sketch is something we kind of teach as well. And the students that don't have a PC or a Mac, we explore Figma later on. So those are the kind of interaction tools that swirl around.
Thank you, George. And because you're on screen, I'm going to put you on the spot for the next question,
Sure.
which will be another round, because we do have a number of questions from the folks at home about work placements. So can you talk a little bit about how the work placements, or how work placements work in your program?
Yeah, so the work placements, there's two pieces of that puzzle. In the fall, there's professional practice, where we have placement advisors that you work with, and they kind of the course is kind of self-descriptive. They teach you the professional practice, building up your resume, interview skills, and kind of priming you for those job interviews or those postings that'll come up. And in the winter, you're going to actually go and interview and find a placement, and you usually work with a placement advisor. So some students find their own. Some students need assistance, and the placement advisors are really good at working with the students. And it's kind of a one-on-one. They get to know each of you well, because our class sizes are relatively small. And in the winter, you'll have a chance to kind of start applying to places. And I kind of tell it, this is how I frankly tell it straight to the students. We'll line up the pool balls, you get it in the hole. So you got to get your portfolio really polished up and have it ready. So, and the truth is, I'll be honest here, some students will get their first interview and land that job. Some students it's gonna take 1, 2, 3, 4 times to do it, but it doesn't matter, you just do it, right? So I don't wanna scare you in that, but yeah, just work hard at the stuff and doors start opening.
Thank you, George. Bianca, can you explain how work placements work in the graphic design program?
So it's kind of similar. We have 140-hour placement that the students have to do to complete their 3-year advanced diploma. And there is a course, there's 2 courses in your final year that sort of lead up to you getting this placement. And we have placement advisors who help you prepare your resume. We have faculty who help you prepare your portfolio, so you are in a place to apply to internships once you get into your final semester. And so these advisors will post positions, they will provide connections to the industry, and then you as the student are responsible to apply. So, like George was saying, that might take 1 application, that might take more than 10 applications, but they make the positions available to you and help you to do the process of internship smoothly. But as a student, you're responsible to apply until you get that position to fulfill the 140 hours. So yeah, it's we have the support system in place for you, but the onus is on the student to apply.
Thank you so much, Bianca. And now, Rob, anything different about multimedia design and development, or anything you'd like to add in general?
I think what I'd throw in is I think the placement's always the big worry for a lot of people because it's such an unknown. Like when you register for a course, you know exactly when it's going to start and you know when it's going to end. And the placement, there's a little bit, it's kind of up in the air. And the students always worry about that, but I really would say that it always works out in the end. Everybody ends up finding a placement, and it really comes back to that portfolio idea, and we really do work with you to figure out where do you want to go and how do we sort of help mold your portfolio to sort of get you there. So I think it's one of those things that's, I know coming in as a student, right, you're worried about it, but it does work out in the end, and you do sort of have to trust us that you have a support network that's here for you to help you get there.
Thank you so much, Rob. And finally, Asma, because I know the Bachelor of Design program being a degree, things are a little bit different.
Yeah, so for the Bachelor's of Design program, yes, all of that we just talked about is definitely included, but you also get an option of doing an entire semester for a work placement in your semester 6. And that could also be, if you go and look into the Bachelors of Design website, they also talk about maybe doing an international work placement or finding a semester to study abroad as an exchange student. So you get a little bit of more freedom, and you can explore more opportunities since it's a 4-year long degree program. And of course, Humber Placement Office and all the support that you have at Humber is there to guide you throughout.
Thank you so much, Asma. I appreciate that. I forgot I had muted myself momentarily. So we do have a couple questions asking about the delivery for September 2021. So understanding that is on a lot of people's minds at the moment. So the health and safety of our students, faculty, and staff does remain our top priority. And as the pandemic evolves, we continue to follow the guidance of public health authorities while we plan for upcoming semesters. So we don't have firm plans on delivery for the September 2021 intake just yet, but information will be available at humber.ca/updates. That's update plural. Once the plans are finalized. So again, that's humber.ca/updates. So we are working to make this information available as quickly as possible so you can make the appropriate decisions about your education. So please do keep monitoring that site, and we will have our plans announced there soon. So that is unfortunately all of the time we have for today. If we didn't get a chance to answer your question, please do email our faculty directly or register for an upcoming program information session at mediaarts@humber.ca/info. That URL will be up on the closing screen for you if you'd like to grab a pen. Again, that's mediaarts@humber.ca/info. Thank you so much for sharing part of your day with us. We hope you'll have an opportunity to explore everything that Humber has to offer via the virtual open house page, and we look forward to seeing you at an upcoming program information session. Stay safe, healthy, and thank you again.